Hello, it's the Goop again. I want to talk about something of a response to a video that Boogie2988 made recently. Now, he talked about basically change. He talked about what was good about change and what was bad about change, and depending on what kind of change. Bad change is change that gouges the consumer. It doesn't really benefit the consumer. That's what bad change is, and it's usually he was talking about like. Every time I start a video, I can't remember what they're called, but business models, basically, yes. And some people are very resistant to those things depending on what they're doing, but a lot of people have embraced a lot of that stuff. Okay, well, great. But that's not the kind of change I'm going to talk about. There are changes that gamers are just so damn resistant to. And I've noticed this, and I'm going to take my glasses back off because they're pinching my nose, pinching my nose, and I can't breathe. I start swelling up. It's annoying. I just can't see too well without them. I know I'm going to annoy people. Anyhow, let me get to the bottom of this. I don't want this video to be too long. I already made a video. It was too long, and I deleted it. I was rambling on. I do that too much, and I don't want to do that too much. Rambling on like that is not good. Okay. The kind of change that we're resistant to is from a technological standpoint. When I say technological, I mean the way we interact, the way we delve into a video game, the way we become part of that world. Gamers are very resistant. Okay, they are resistant to motion controls. They don't want that. They were resistant to 3D, and now they're being resistant to virtual reality. But there's a problem. What are we going to do when game consoles have reached that fidelity, that peak, way up there? Graphics are so realistic, so perfect, so detailed, and there's nowhere else to go with a console. Our manufacturers are just going to say, okay, that's our last console. We're just going to keep making games now. Hopefully people will be happy. This industry has to keep evolving somehow. Things have to change somehow. And at that point, what will we do? We have to figure out something. The thing is, we're doing it early. We're doing it now. Instead of waiting until graphics have really met that peak. We're doing this thing where we have motion controls, 3D, and now VR. Personally, I'm looking forward to VR, but I'll go into another video about that, about why I'm looking forward to it. I like motion controls. There were people who I don't like moving around. Oh God, oh God. I just want. All they want to do, for the most part, and these are a lot of gamers that I've seen, they want to sit on their lazy asses, a controller in hand, and a TV in front of them since the beginning of video games. There's a new term I want to use. Okay, a lot of people I've noticed don't like gamer. A lot of people hate that term. So I'm going to start using a new term. Well, it might not be new, but it's new for me. Video game enthusiasts. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. I'm a video game enthusiast. But video game enthusiasts, hobbyists, we're very resistant to change. We still want to do the same thing we've always done. We don't want to do anything any different. And we don't want to embrace these kind of changes, but we're going to have to do something else at some point. What it is we're going to have to do, I don't know. But we are resistant to change. I'm looking forward to VR, and I'm going to say real quickly this. I can move my head around and aim. I suck playing with the thumbsticks with first-person shooters. I suck real hard. Mouse and keyboard a little better, not quite as much. I've used motion controls on my Wii, the Wiimote, and I played first-person shooters. Fantastic. It was awesome. I liked it. It was intuitive. It was great. Okay, moving on. We're very resistant to those kinds of change, and I think it's a shame. I think eventually when we reach that peak, gamers will get tired of it. They'll get tired of all the realism. And then people will probably start embracing the kind of games Nintendo make again. That's kind of sad. Well, it'll go from realism to making things that aren't real feel real. Things that don't look real feel real. That's what I'm expecting to happen at one point. That's what I want from virtual reality. I want the same thing that animation studios do with CG. They don't make things that look realistic. They make things that aren't realistic feel realistic. You see what I'm saying? Watch How to Train Your Dragon. It doesn't really look realistic. Nothing in there really looks real like you would see, but it feels real. And that's what I'm expecting out of VR. I want to see those kind of games. I want to see games that they don't have realistic graphics, but they're made to feel like they're real and you can touch them. Cell shading and so forth. I would love to see that, and that's what I think is going to be great for VR. If people think about that. The unfortunate thing, we're not thinking about that. What are we thinking of? Realism. There's constantly this move to make games more realism. Why? I don't completely understand. I don't think a game needs to be realistic. But that just goes to prove that a lot of gamers, a lot of gaming enthusiasts, a lot of us are graphics whores. It was pretty sad. And I'm a retro gamer, so, for the most part. I prefer 2D games anyway, so I wouldn't say I'm a graphics whore per se, but I will say I don't really care for Atari, that generation of graphics. I didn't like those real blocky big squares that really was hard to make out what you were looking at. I don't like that, but I do like the NES era on up, 16-bit era, 32-bit era, 2D stuff. I do like that. I think that was good, but back to the topic at hand. Yes, there is an issue we have with change. People don't want to embrace change. People want to just stick with it the way it's been done for a long time. That's the kind of change, though, that we are very resistant to. And I think it's sad. And I think more of us need to give things a good, honest shot. I think companies also need to learn that they need to utilize it properly. And whenever some new form of interaction or something comes out, as soon as the fan base opens their mouth and goes, you should do this. This would be awesome. This would be cool. You need to read those comments. Because they have great ideas. The gamers know what they want. They know what they're going to find fantastic about a new technology. And you need to deliver. Don't do what you feel like they want. That's another thing that console manufacturers do, that video game creators do, that studios do. They make what they think other people are going to want. They don't make what people actually want. That's why we have indie developers. They are gamers themselves. They're gamers making games for other gamers. They have a better hold on what gamers want. That is why horror games made that are indie games are really good. And why horror games that are AAA, that are made by the big guys, are not really as good anymore. Alright, this has been The Goof. I try to be goofy, and sometimes it's pretty hard to be goofy. I'll try better next time. How about that? Alright. You all have a really good day, night, evening, morning, whatever. Bye. God damn it, I hit the stop button and didn't do it. Bye.